Hi, I'd like to introduce you to some functionality that I have been developing for a project called Epidemic. I'd like to point out that this functionality is not being used in the final product. So there was this requirement that there had to be ghosts in the game and there had to be a player being able to control time with the help of some time manipulating device. And we had to come up with a way of making this possible and easy to work with in the Unreal Engine. So you can imagine the system had to be something like a simplified version of the Prince of Persia time reversal mechanism, or you could imagine it like some mechanism in a puzzle game where you had to find out information from the future, come back in the past, and take decisions based on that. So with that being said, we kind of realized that we had to make some detailed customization to allow the designers to be, or the designer to be able to easily work with or actually work for implementing the game in a way that's comfortable and easy to manipulate. And this posed the question of integrating some editor functionality that's otherwise unavailable in the stock UI of the editor of Unreal Engine. So there was this requirement to make kind of a list or a scenario of tasks that a non-player character is supposed to follow, and those were comprised of goals, going somewhere and waiting for some time, and then talking to oneself or talking to another, in this case, ghost or some spectral entity. So, it ended up looking like this, and we have this functionality of, adding goal tasks, and then adding wait tasks. And let me show you real quick here what I mean. You can pick a goal, and then a debug line or debug information is being drawn for you as a designer. So you have some debug information here, a debug helper, and showing time of arrival, because we're manipulating time here. So when you set up the speed to be something different than 0, you can actually see the arrival of your character. And there had to be done some things like easy route management. So we added the possibility of snapping manually to the underlying surface, which implied manipulating the helper actor and then snapping it to the ground. Then because the system actually relies on the built-in navigation system of the Unreal Engine, this also means that there is avoidance that is being supported as well. Then we had other requirements, like ghosts being able to pass through walls and doors, because they're simulated in time, time and space. So let me quickly show you here what I mean. I'm going back and click on my non-player character, and I'm just going to add another goal task. or I actually reset the one I've been using. So let me correct my mistake here by going and setting it up again. So I can insert task before or after, the current task. So let me go ahead and add another task. Let me quickly pick up another goal target which respects avoidance. Then I can set a different speed, and the arrival time is being updated. Then maybe I just want to, make the character wait for some time. So I can just insert a new task after the current one, make it a wait task. And I have this automatically spawned, helper, which says how much time I'm gonna wait. I can change the time with something custom here. And then I can keep on adding further tasks. And because the system actually relies on nav mesh, you can actually have, a connection between incontiguous nav meshes or usage of nav links implemented and working, naturally. So let me show you what I mean by that. I'm going to create a new goal task. Oh, I actually reset the current one, but that's not a problem. So let me quickly go here and pick this one. So as you can see, this ghost is going to be able to pass through this object because it's not an obstacle. I'm going to insert a new task here again, and I'm going to pick the next goal. You can see a debug line being, drawn for you as a designer, so you can see what you're doing. Alright, so there is other features implemented in the system. I have to point out though that it needs some polishing, and it's not really free of its issues, or I'd rather say little bugs, but that's something that needs to be polished. So if I wanted, I could make this ghost say something. I can add a secondary task to my first primary task here. And some debug information is automatically created for me. I can create a sound wave. I'm going to use a simple one that I use for testing. The end time is automatically created for me. So you can see now that I can offset the start time and the end time is going to be adjusted. Now you can imagine this ghost is to start walking along the defined spline, and starting from this time and space is going to start saying something and is going to end right here. And that's really convenient. I can actually go ahead and play so you can see what I mean by that. You can experience some distortion or echo, so be aware of that.
This is me talking. I can. This is me talking. Hello. seconds and counting. I think this is enough.
And I have encountered an issue here. As I said, it's not perfect. So I'm gonna quickly reset everything here and resume with another video.